Good afternoon, everybody. Hard to follow Lucid. My presentation is definitely not as sexy, but I promise it's valuable, and I hope you're ready for some great stats, and I hope you're awake. All right, so EV buying behavior, as Tanya mentioned, EV is here. That's what we're all here to talk about, and so that's what we brought today. My name is Jennifer Dodez, or Dode, either way. I always make the joke, it's actually not my name, it's my husband's, so I don't really care. I am on the Polk Automotive Solutions team. We recently joined S&P, and we are now the S&P Mobility division of S&P. It's been a lot of fun. And my role is specifically focused on the West. So I get to take all the data that we're presenting with you today and really think about what does that mean for a marketer. I spent 10 years on the marketing side myself, and then I've been 10 years in automotive sales, and I'm just constantly blown away by how much data we have at Polk. And I just love my job every day, coming to brands, giving them the stats, and then really figuring out what does that mean and what do we do next. So let's jump in. Our big statement of the day here is really by 2030, we are going to be even split with powertrains. So in just 8 short years, we're talking about, BEVs, what we're doing to get adoption, but in just 8 short years, there will be 41% of market share. I think Tanya's stat was 50, so we're a little bit more conservative at 41, but then that purple line is hybrids at 30%, and then you've got your gas ICE vehicles at 26%. So pretty phenomenal. I'm sure we'll be here in 8 years, and we'll see if that stat plays out. But we still have some challenges. So at Polk, most of our stats are very black and white. They're based on registration data, financial data, and what we see. But we really need to do a consumer study. So this year in March, we kicked off a e-mobility consumer study, and I actually have some stats for you around that. So I think this statement really says it all. Consumer confidence is definitely growing, but we still have some work to do on infrastructure. So top barriers right now, when we surveyed consumers, they intended to purchase, but number one concern is price. Now, we heard from Chevy this morning, if most of you were in the room, sounds like Chevy's gonna help solve that problem by bringing some product to market with a lower price point. The next 3 barriers are all around charging and infrastructure. So let's dive into this a little bit more. 56% prefer to charge at home or work. 5% are okay with charging in a public place. And 37% suggested that the infrastructure is still not there. So excuse me. So now we're just jumping straight into the data. So here we go. This is the data I'm most comfortable with, and this is the sales data. So top 10 models right now account for 85% of volume. No surprise, Tesla takes, 60, when you add up Y3 on that slide, Tesla is at 61%. A year ago, when we were in here, Tesla was at 70%. So we have made some strides in the marketplace, eating away at their market share. Now, where are our buyers coming from? So this is our EV migration by class. The blue is mainstream. So if you purchased a Chevy Bolt, 90% of those customers came from a mainstream brand. If you go to the right, you see that shift, where most of your Tesla Model X buyers are coming from a luxury brand. And you could really see in the middle, and that Tesla is really the one brand that's done a good job bridging both luxury and mainstream. And I like what Jeff had to say in his presentation. They put Tesla in that innovative category, not luxury, and I think this data kind of helps support that, his data point as well. Now, the other thing we measure is, are people adding to the garage? And EVs are definitely additions to the garage. So almost 60% of households are adding an EV to the garage when they buy an EV, and only 41% of them are actually replacing a vehicle. And so let's look at Tesla. Top Tesla driveway mates by make, number 1 Toyota and number 2 Honda. So going back to my role as helping out marketers, putting that hat on, if I had to launch an EV campaign, I certainly wouldn't ignore those Toyota and Honda households. So they're targeting those people that have a mainstream vehicle in the garage. And not shown here, Chevy's at 4%, Jeep is at 4%, Nissan 3%, and Audi at 3%. So what that says is 15% of everybody right now who owns a Tesla also owns a Toyota. This is probably one of my favorite slides and really speaks to why, we're here today and the whole day is focused on EV. EV loyalty is holding. We saw a 10+ point increase versus just a year ago. So that's that yellow line in the middle. If you own an EV right now and you come back to market for a new vehicle, 65, almost 66% of those households are buying another EV. You could see how that's impacting the decline of hybrid loyalty and also the gas loyalty at the top at 88%. This is an even more fun stat to share. So as we talk to the marketers and as we see the presentations today, there is a huge halo effect that is shining on any brands right now jumping in and showcasing their EVs and having EVs ready to sell. When you look at the Mach-E, 64% of those buyers came from a competitive brand. And then even more impressive, they're keeping them. 56% of them are staying loyal to Ford when they come back to market. The numbers get even more impressive for Hyundai, Kia, and Volkswagen. Ioniq 5, 77% of purchases to date came from a non-Hyundai household. 71% for Kia, and 72% for Volkswagen with the ID4. I mean, if those numbers don't, really tell the story on what an EV model can do for the brand, I don't know what does. All right, so sorry, but this is where the sales pitch comes in. This is where we're really focused. When you just take all that data, that data only scratches the surface. I only have 15 minutes, but we could spend hours on this. We take our rich knowledge, our robust data, all of, just that expertise in the marketplace with buying patterns. We hold 30 years plus of historic buying behavior. We know, the lifestyle triggers. We know financial profiles. We take all that, and then we build audiences ready for marketers to use. So we have over 150 audience segments ready to go, ready to use in, any DSP, in a TV platform, on Facebook, any social platform. They're really ready off the shelf, ready to customize based on a marketer's objectives. This is a little sample of what we've done to really target by garage profile and buying motivation. So if you didn't want to just target a Toyota and a Honda owner, we can add in, we just want to focus on those people adding to the garage. Or there are people adding an additional EV to the garage, and we see first vehicle purchases as well. And so if a brand wanted to simply focus on those buying motivations, we're ready to go with these off-the-shelf segments and ready to get them anywhere. So this is just a little picture. On the right-hand side, you've got an ICE household, and on the left-hand side, you have an EV household. We're starting to do a lot more consumer profiling on behalf of our customers, and really, it's hard to see, but 56% of EV buyers have a household income of 100K plus. So if we leave you with just the top 3 stats to take away today, it would be these 3. So I mentioned the 56%. Almost 60% of EV sales are adding to the garage versus trade-in, as we mentioned. And lastly, again, that stat, 16% of Tesla owners also own a Toyota as the #1 make. So really important to keep those households in mind. So I'll be here all day. If anyone has any questions or wants to dig further into the data, please find me. Again, my name is Jennifer, and I'm with Polk. Thank you.